We are Steven and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how good investors will make fortunes in the next 24 months.
What else should you be doing?
I'll
I'd be
tell
like,
you-
that's like a drop everything and run title. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Now is the time. Mm-hmm. You know, there may never be another time certainly in our lifetime. If you're real young, then you might get another shot at it. But and I'm not saying you can't make money during great times. Mm-hmm. But now it's just kind of a perfect storm. I have some indications about why.
Cool.
Before we get into it, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Roland asks, my partner and I have a beautiful 2.5 acre property in 29 Palms, California, near Palm Springs, that we have listed on eBay. This is the first time we have listed on eBay. We have had 2 bidders so far. One seems legit based on his buyer's history. The other, who is leading right now, has no buyer history. We're kind of concerned. So the question is, what scams should we look out for? Thanks, Roland. I was going to add one thing too. You are not wrong in your concerns, because sometimes that happens. People unfortunately, are not legitimate. They don't, with a buyer's history, they may or may not be a great buyer. They could be good, but you don't know. We have a lot of experience in this, and I'll tell you truthfully, I have gone, and when you go into the settings and you're setting up your eBay account, you can even restrict it right ahead of time. So people that have less than X amount of transactions can't even bid. Or people have less amount of like dings on their, or have dings on their account, things like an unpaid history, or they've already had some negative feedback. You can also restrict those buyers from your account. You have a lot of control. There's a lot that you can choose from. So, it's a tough one, because you don't know who could be good, who could be bad, and until you really get rolling. You don't have a lot of history too, by the way. So let's look at put the shoe on the other foot. Is that okay? Is that the right kind of a?
You're answering the question for me.
Okay. So
total two-way street.
Exactly. If as a buyer, I don't really know you too, Roland. So you want to give them a chance, which you could do, because you're starting out, they're starting out. If you see 2 guys going for it, and you do like we do, it's $1, no reserve, 30-day auction, going to close on a Sunday around dinner time. Those are like things that we've learned over the years that work the best. I would start having a dialogue with these guys. Make sure that you say, hey, you're one of the top bidders. Don't forget, when it closes, I'm going to send you an invoice. This is how the process goes, just to give you an idea. Do you have any, questions for me now? Things like that. And then maybe too, if you have some interaction with these buyers, both of them, it's going to help you feel good and know that they're real and legit.
eBay is a double-edged sword. So Joe and I have sold tens of millions of dollars of real estate on eBay. It's only conducive for really one product type when land is concerned. So the people that buy stuff on eBay are the absolute biggest bottom fishers there ever was, ever. And it's not just for land, it's for cars and anything else that you can find on there. It's way, way lower from a price standpoint and an acceptable behavior standpoint than a lot of other venues on the internet, like let's say Amazon, Craigslist, or OfferUp, or choose one.
This is all true.
So you need to go in with an expectation that you're dealing with maybe the worst customer there ever was. Number one. Number two, they're not going to buy a real nice infill lot that you spent $5,000 on for 10. They're going to buy very, very inexpensive rural vacant land. They're going to expect an amazing customer service experience. They're going to expect zero fees associated with the transaction.
A crazy price. Yeah.
I'm talking about $500.
Right.
$500 to $1,000 sales price is where you want to be for eBay. So that means you have to buy it for $200 or $300 to make any real money consistently. So that's not inconceivable, especially if you're buying huge bulks of property in multiple locations all at once, which is what we've done this for years and years.
Right.
The big problem with eBay is it turns a lot of people who are really intelligent off. That's the problem. So as the Land Academy, we're Land Academy people, and people hear the word eBay, very intelligent people, and they say, what? That's what this is about? Buying real cheap property for a few $100s and selling it for $700 or $800 on eBay like 10 or 15 times a week? No, that's not what this is about at all. It's a tiny little part of it.
Right.
So I don't want you to, if you're 98% of the time we talk about data and smart stuff, this is not one of those times. This is just the eBay little portion of it.
Yeah, if you've got a good property, I wouldn't put it on eBay. If you got something that's in your inventory you just want to get rid of and you don't care about it and maybe drive traffic to your website, then I would use eBay.
Yep.
Use it as a marketing tool.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say, I bet you and I have sold more real estate on eBay than anyone.
I bet that's true.
I bet
I'm
we're
sure.
the most qualified people to talk about this little tiny subject.
I'm sure of that.
And we don't sell very much, if any, at all anymore, for a reason. So if we're saying, there's just better ways to do it.
Yeah.
I feel very confident that that's the case.
Roland, I would rather you have this on Facebook.
Me too.
And doing maybe even some paid ads and getting it in front of the right people.
Me too.
Then you're going to get a lot more. Instagram, dream it up.
50% of the people that buy property on eBay and the auction closes and that you either send them a bill or there's automatic checkout will pay. 50% won't. So, and it costs $100 to run an auction. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of moving parts to it. You have to have an incredible amount of patience. So you can remove me in that.
Yeah.
But it's very profitable. People who do well on eBay, I've been to these eBay conferences, national conferences, just not necessarily with real estate, but anything, have figured it out. They figured out a way to create a machine. I met a couple guys at a conference that they sold packaging, like cardboard boxes and stuff, for other eBay sellers on eBay. And they were just, printing money. So I don't want to knock it, but really what it is you're an online retailer who happens to sell fill in the blank. For us, it was land. For them, it was boxes. For some people, it's Beanie Babies. For some people, it's Corvettes.
Thanks.
Today's topic, good investors will make fortunes in the next 24 months. This is the meat of the show. I was inspired to write this title by an article/video that Susie Ormond did, where she kind of just yelled at everybody. That's what she does. She's a branded financial planner, and she's just got in front of this camera like she always does, and famously just started yelling at us, saying,
Isn't that funny?
and I'm applying it to real estate here. She said, now everybody's kind of at home. Everybody's got this, we didn't request it, but we have this chill period, let's say. And if
Chill period.
It's like a cooling off period.
Paid time off. You know what it is? It's what do you call it when you're, it's your a career decision. You get, like when I worked at a company and before they fired you, you would get a career decision day. Not kidding. It'd be a day off with pay. This is like at the very, very bitter end of the whole
After
thing.
you already got all the black marks on your
Oh,
record.
yeah. You're like, it's just not improving. We've coached and counseled you to the fullest extent. Then it's last one time. Do you really want to work here? Because then they could, say we did everything we could. So this is a career decision 90 days or 260 days for a lot of people.
Now is the time to make a fortune. If you're a Land Academy member or a House Academy member already, and you're just in the middle range of, I'm lukewarm about it. We've done a couple of deals. Now's the time to do 100 deals.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more serious. We joke around a lot on the show just to try to make it bearable to listen to or watch. I'm not joking around about this. Now is the time. There may never be, like I said earlier, another time in our life that is so conducive to this. We have record unemployment. We will have record unemployment. We will probably have record. Go ahead.
Well, we have record an audience. The audience is huge right now too, by the way.
Yep.
What a great time. If everybody was doing great and it was Super Bowl time, everybody's stuck on Super Bowl, I'd say this is not the time. But right now everybody's home and a lot of people have money.
This virus has created an environment of fear of big cities. So any kind of heat map you look at, so that's fantastic for rural vacant land or mobile homes, or any property. It's just a universal real estate rule. The further you go out, the cheaper it is.
Drive till you
now
qualify.
everybody wants to go further out.
Yeah.
Number three, this is like a perfect storm. Number three, there are more people now than ever that are successfully working at home. And I don't think a lot of that's going to change because it's so much more affordable for employers. We're employers and many companies, and we have a lot of people working for us. I never would have signed off voluntarily to send all my greatest assets as a business owner, all just went home. I don't know what they're doing. It scared the heck out of me, and I think probably 95% of them just passed with flying colors. They're doing great. Their numbers are great. They're probably happier, which means I'm happier. So I don't see that. I see that trend continuing. Not
exactly.
So all this, and it's more affordable. So all of this is a perfect storm of buying rural vacant land, or if you're into houses, buying houses that are further out for really inexpensive amounts of money. And then finally, and I alluded to it with the recessionary unemployment. So we will have, I think we do now have the largest amount of unemployment.
Isn't it 1 in 5?
I
read 1 in 5.
That's, the Great Depression in 1929 wasn't not that high. So this is, and we're in the middle of it. What is it? We're recording this on May 7th. Mm-hmm. It'll air, I guess, next week. Mm-hmm. All those things add up to a huge opportunity. Why? People need money too. So this mail campaign scenario that we've developed and the Land Academy, House Academy members know all about, your yield, your mailer yield should dramatically increase. It should double at least, because people just want money. Go ahead, Jill.
And the old buyers are coming back. Mm-hmm. Or the old sellers, I should say. The people that told you to go jump in a lake 6 months ago are coming back. Now they're like, "Ooh, maybe I should call that guy again."
So if you don't have a specialization, you should find one, and get serious about it. Put it in a schedule. Get the mail out. Pick a location that you can think makes sense. If you're in Texas and you like Texas, get in the outskirts of some of the bigger cities. I just use Texas as an example. Now's the time to really, really specialize and really do it.
I was going to add what we talked about the other day at the kitchen table, which is if you're not working on something right now, you're nuts. If you're not using this time off opportunity to really come up with another way to put food on the table, what better use of your time?
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, they have the ideas, they have the knowledge, it's all in their hands, they just can't act on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say you're going to have to do whatever it takes to act on it. We were all there once. We were all afraid of making that first decision about buying that first property. So my answer to that is buy a great property. Don't make a wishy-washy decision. Don't have any doubts in your head. Make sure it's a fantastic property. And how do you do that? You have a lot to choose from. Like Steven said, get the mail out there. And I see a lot of people doing this right now, by the way. I was just, even in the last week, I was blown away we have a direct mail company called Offers to Owners. It's offers and the number 2 owners.com. And I'm looking at the numbers of the mail that's going out, just not individually, but as a whole. I'm like, holy cow. People are like, and they're listening and they're doing it and they're getting properties. And that's the best way and the easiest way to do this right.
Yep. I don't have anything else to say. I think, you said it the nicest way you could possibly say it. I had an old boss tell me one time, this either happens to you by the time you're 40 or not. And it was a guy to guy. I was young, really young. And so I don't think that it's by 40 by any stretch. I think now you can be 60 because of the way the internet is. But I do think that this is the sentiment from what he said applies here. You're either going to do this right now or you're not. And if you don't do it right now, you're making excuses for yourself. Jill's just said it the nice way. I'm not going to be that nice.
In other words, get off your rear and do it.
As Luke Smith, one of our advanced members who has a show on YouTube, constantly says, just get the mail out. Exactly. And everything else falls into place because you don't have a choice. If your phone's blowing up, you're going to have to pick some deals and do them.
Exactly. Happy you could join us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are right here on the Land Academy Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can find us on the House Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the House Academy Show is called We Will Never Know the Very Bitter Bottom of This Recession. Why does that matter? Because you can't, it's just another reason to sit around and wait to pull the trigger on something. You don't need to know where the bottom is. It's going down. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was good. We got our point across.
You know what?
I hope I got our point across.
You know what's going on in our life right now? We're doing a lot of real estate deals. And so that leaves a little less time and energy for Land Academy.
Everybody should have that. It should be like, I'm doing so many deals, it leaves a little less time for family.
Yeah.
Yep, just kidding.
Exactly.
Or eating. Mm-hmm. Or binge watching. There we go. We'll leave. That's good. The Land Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steven Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.